Hi, Lola. Don't like that too much. Let's try it a different way. That's a bit better. I don't like that either, so let's try this way. Oof. So much wiggle woggling. So much wiggle woggling. There we go, that's better. Well, but now we got shadows. Oh, so much thing. There we go. Okay, I think that works okay. Yes. Let us see. Breakfast is in the shot. That is okay. It's okay, brain. Okay. How do we want to start? That is always the question. Probably with a palette. Oof, maybe I can squinch closer. Oof. Squinchfulness. Squinchfulness. Why is that happening? Oh, secret brush. Everything is casting very intense shadows right now because it is very early. Okay, so I want to start with this outline. So let's get started. Painting time. Okay. The arduous decision of picking a color. I'm gonna go with mauve. Wow, that shadow is intense. Maybe I can like hit it out a little bit. Press this light over here. Doesn't help at all. That's okay. We can just have super intense sun shadows, and that will just have to be the way of the video. I am working on a 16 panel. Something that might be one painting, and it might be 16 paintings, I'm not sure yet, but this is one of the panels. The current goal is just to get sort of one idea onto each panel. So none of them are done, but I'm just sort of trying to work my way through the first draft of each of the panels. I find it kind of interesting because I moved from these huge brushes that I was using on a lot of the previous paintings. Now I'm down to like infinitesimally tiny brush. But these paintings are very slow, but that's okay. They can just be slow. And we have a kitten hanging out. Hanging out, kitten. Yeah, I think we'll go over this just a little bit. Just for this first line, and then I feel like I made a mistake in the collage in this section, so I'm not sure how to figure that out, but we'll have to fix that. I wish that this piece was not here and that there was this continued fence pattern here so that I could just come directly around, but that's not going to happen because I messed it up when I was making the collage. That's okay. One of the nice things about painting over collage is that you can, or at least I should say, for me in this instance, no universal statements, all I statements. They have these sort of like very messy grounds right now, and all the painting does is really like pick out what is the foreground. So currently I'm just like outlining and saying this here, this is the foreground. Which is very slow. But this painting in particular, and some of the previous paintings in the series, have had these highlights. I think like maybe 2 of the previous paintings have had these like very intense fine line outlines in them. And I really love the way they come out. They give the paintings kind of like a jittery quality. Are we including this green blob? That's a good question. No, negatory on the green blob. Alright, here we go. Around this leaf. Little petal guy. And I'm learning, the one thing that does make it faster is that when you're doing a bunch of these outlines, I have to remember that the only edge of the outline that really matters is the inside edge. The outside edge will just get covered up with other paint. When I started doing the outlines, I was being like ridiculously precise on both edges, and it just like takes way too long and is not even functional because it gets covered up anyway. Do 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 do. Since we're not having this green blob, I guess that means we also need to go in here and fill in this area, but I will need an even smaller brush than this one to do that. This is my second smallest brush. I have another brush that I use for going around letters or doing like super tiny stuff. Yeah, this is good. I like this. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Toot. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, we have accomplished 1 square inch in the past 10 minutes. That seems pretty accurate. It takes me about 10 minutes to do 1 square inch at this point. It's a very, very long time, but that's okay. It is what is right for me and the paintings right now, which is all I can really ask for. reason I'm doing streams after so long of being away is basically that I was making the Amnesia Diaries videos, and I really liked them, but they lost something about like what I needed them to be, and I couldn't figure out how to get them back, so I just stopped. But I kept making paintings. Like the paintings were still working. So currently, this very like lo-fi streaming setup where it's just like my phone and my breakfast. We're eating peanut butter and jelly with some kiwis. Snack. This is what I can muster. I don't want to just let this channel sort of like be left forgotten. I still really value video as part of my practice. So I'm trying to change my relationship to it to be something a little gentler. I don't want to use the word authentic because I find that word kind of problematic, but mostly just because authentic isn't something that happens on a light switch. You know, it's not a binary variable. But for me, this is much like closer to the bone or whatever. Peanut butter jelly face. Okay. More mauve. Alright, we just need to come around here. And this is also the first time in the painting series that I've I guess organized the paintings by topic would be a good way of putting that. So most of the big paintings just include like all of the headlines culled from a few weeks of papers, but they're all sort of jumbled together, and there's no like topic based organization. But in this 16 panel piece, which the more and more I think about it, the more I'm realizing that it is one piece. It's like this is all 16 panels are one thing and not 16 different paintings. This is just me. If you use really tiny brushes, I'm just like reshaping the bristles so that they all stick like in a little cone. So they go whoop. Should you do on your hand? No. Should you get acrylic on your skin? No. But it's still happening. Peanut butter jelly time. Oh. Only you survive me now. I'm La 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 la. Oof. I don't know how I feel about this line right here. I guess I should just leave it and let all of this like leaf matter like come up out of his head and just come around. Because otherwise I would be painting in like this tiny bit of background here. Ugh, I don't know what to do about that. And if I did that, I would have to paint in this paint it into here, and I don't think I like that. But I do want to paint it onto here. Let's try here. Do 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 do. Yeah, I think this is a good. Need like a little bit more here. So yeah, I hope with live streaming as I get used to it, I can reintegrate video back into my practice, which I have not really been doing much of lately. Although I've done a little bit of it on TikTok, which was fun. But I find myself more attached to the numerical like behavioral levers on TikTok than they do on YouTube. Maybe just because I'm more used to YouTube. I don't know. And I've also tried live streaming on Instagram a little bit. But it feels less satisfying, I guess is the word for that. It feels less satisfying to live stream on YouTube. Brain, I think you're just going to have to paint in the part that you're scared of. Just do it. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Oh, paintings. Dun, 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 dun. The sun is like slowly covering up the whole painting. That's okay. That is okay. Yep. Don't fudge it up too bad, brain. Don't fudge it up too bad. I'll probably have to go over this section again to get the color right, but that's okay. It's a little splotchy right now. We got to be being splotchy. It's okay for temporary splotchyfulness. Okay, it is peanut butter jelly break time. All right. gonna bring it up around here and try and doing these leaves over here. Bring that part of the painting a little closer to me. Do 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 do. Oh, I already did that part. Right, I have to worry. Okay. I found my spot. Yeah, this is good. Doing good, self. Doing a good job. Dun, 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 dun. I might try this stream at like different times of day. Oh no, we are like very not having good lighting, are we? Alright. Let's not give our peanut butter jelly breakfast to the dog. We'll move the palette out the way. We'll move the painting over here. And then we will also... Alright, everybody ready to get very dizzy? Very dizzy! Excellent work, team. Excellent work. Hope nobody threw up. Oh. We're still sort of in throw up land. Alright. That works. Yeah. Now you're not being blinded by the sun. I wish I knew how to choose like which camera, because my phone has like a more zoomy-in camera. Oh yeah, you can see the paint all over my hand. But I have no idea how to get the live stream to use that, so if you know, you should tell me, because then I could give you zoom-ins. Okay. We got way too much paint on our brush because we was too excited. Okay. Do 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 do. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're almost all the way around this little leaf bit. Oh yeah. Okay. So we got from here. Are you doing focusing? Okay, come on, live stream. You gotta be in charge of focusing. I can't be in charge of focusing and painting. We're here, we come around, we fill in this little area. We come around here, we did all these little leaves right here. Come around here, we did all these leaves over here, and I'm coming around just to here. So I think I want to finish getting around the sign. And then for this part, the arm and this other little turnip, I think this is a turnip, it might be a radish, nobody knows. I'll probably switch to another color. So before I do that, I'm going to bring the mauve sort of like out this way a bunch with a much bigger brush. Okay, last tiny amount of mauve right here. And then we will get our giant brush. And it'll be very exciting because we'll make a lot of progress in a very short period of time. There are decisions like, do I want to keep all this fence pattern, which probably I like the fence pattern. So that means painting like a background sort of like here. I don't know. I still don't know how to address this sign situation. I guess we will figure it out. Okay. And by giant brush, I literally mean just like this. For these paintings, this is what qualifies as a giant brush. I mean, unless I'm doing the gluing stage, so obviously these have gone through like several. This is the big brush I use for glue. These have gone through like multiple layers of gluing. So there's this front panel, then there's a totally different back piece that's been glued to that front panel, and then obviously there's like the collage layer of these paper bits. And the goal is, maybe I can show you another painting close up. So like you can see here, this is a piece that's been collaged on, but then once you paint, it sort of like all integrates it into one piece. Oh yeah, this is the piece I'm working on. I just did that. Excuse me, can you please cooperate, tripod? This squiggle I just did this morning, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, there's some progress been made over there and stuff. I did a lot of work on that one today. Oh, this stripe is new. Yeah, so there's some new stuff happening. But yeah, for now. There we go. And I'm just going to bring the mauve like sort of up and out over here a little bit. But first we need the peanut butter rake. Okay. Water. I'm just trying to like touch that edge and draw in. I know the paint looks like a totally different color, but it's not. It's just that Liquitex soft body acrylics, which is the kind of paint that I use. This kind. They dry darker, or it might be that my paint is poorly mixed. No, I think it's that it's just drying a different color. So yeah, we're just gonna touch that line that I just made. It's like my little outline. And in this instance, this is basically what that little outline is there for, just to make this part like much easier. And you can do it the other way. You can paint the big area and then go smaller and smaller. But I like to make the decisions about what's going to be lined first, because, that's a good question. Why do I make that decision first? I think it's just because it front loads all the decision making, and it feels like there less mistakes get made. Like I don't regret things later. When I make all the decisions with like a very small brush, and then I come in later and like no decisions are being made right now. All I'm doing is following the line of decisions that were already made. So I can just sort of like let my hand blop around, and my eye is involved, but my like deciding things brain does not need to be an active participant in this particular blop. And sometimes this will require 2 layers of paint. It depends on the color. Oh, what I mean by this is like a big wash area. Depends on the color. I love Liquitex. I do highly recommend it, but the blues are not as heavily pigmented as the whites. So depending on like your hue and the saturation of the color and like how much white is mixed into it and things like that, will determine a lot about how opaque it is. Which is just a thing I've learned to deal with in the last year of doing this series. Yeah. Sometimes paint is annoying. So here's an example of like, I know that the wash will probably come down here eventually, but I haven't made the decision about the exact line. So I'm just gonna keep the brush up here and just stick to the area where I know brains have done all their brain work. And now dumbs can do their work. Like this is an example. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but over here, I'm painting almost exclusively over text, which is very fine black ink on white paper. But over here, I'm painting over this, what are these called? Crossword grid, which has like this full black text or full black boxes. And so like right here, you can see the grid of the thing shining through, even though this is the same amount of paint as over here. So you just have to be aware of stuff like that. It's actually, I like that part a lot because the, how do I say? I'm anti-canvas. I'm not anti-canvas for every artist ever on the planet. I am anti-canvas personally for me because I find it has this like air of objectivity. So it has like this canvas as a material has some sort of assumption about the objectivity of itself, I guess. Like this standardization of itself, and I really, really dislike that. I don't like that it feels... Canvas makes paintings, to me, not everyone, obviously, canvas makes it feel like paintings think they're better than everyone, which I don't like. I don't know. I know that that's probably ridiculous, and that, like, that's a very emotional reaction to a material, but it is just true for me. I don't like canvas. Oh my god, I'm such a dork. That's fine. You can have opinions about art stuff. You're an artist. Welcome to the live stream with M. Opinions about art stuff. So yeah, this being made out of newspaper obviously is like a very important part of the like conceptual framework or whatever of the piece. Like it's important that it's made exclusively out of the material of the news. If I had tried to do these paintings on canvas, it would not have been the same at all. Well, see, I fucked that up, but whatever. It's fine. And now it's too thin just because I have too much water on my brush. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm just trying to get as much pigment out of the brush as possible. This will all get painted over. This is not a look at my impressive brush technique section. This is just a I have too much pigment on my brush and I'm trying to get it out section. I can switch to the brush cleaning station where we try to squidge out all the paint while simultaneously shaping the brush back into a little point. I can never get like all the paint out of a brush ever. It's impossible for me. I don't know why, but probably because I refuse to use clean water because I don't want to have to dump water with acrylic in it because that is fucking toxic. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you might, or TikTok, you might not have seen, but I can show you. So generally, this needs to dry, so let's just talk about something else. This is one of my paint palettes, and on the top of the paint palette is a lot of leftover paint. So like when I use my palette knife, or if I have like a lot of leftover paint on a brush, I will like paint it onto this surface and like lots of layers. So if we open the palette, ta-da! You can kind of see through the plastic that there's like all these colors like built up on the other side. This is too thin for me to peel right now. There need to be lots more layers before I can peel it off, but because acrylic doesn't stick to plastic, once it's thick enough, I'll be able to like pick it up in the corners and literally just like peel off this whole square. And I can show you what that looks like. But first, we need kiwi break. Is anybody else eating their breakfast? Okay. Let me pull out my, hold on, let me move this over so that it can dry without getting mushed. Oof. Okay, so this is a thing you cannot see at all. Great. Let's move you up a little bit, tripod. There we go. This is a thing I have not titled yet, but is somewhere includes the words like portrait and trash or portraits of a painting or something like that. So you can see like these are old family photo albums that I got from the recycling art material recycling center in San Francisco called Scrap, which I really love. And then each of these squares is a bunch of leftover paint from working on one of the big paintings. And I think you can still take them out. Yeah, you can like, you know, they're plastic, so you can still take them out of here. But yeah, I just love these little portraits. Each one, you know, they're like different colors depending on like what painting I was working on at the time. And yeah, I think they're really, it's interesting because like they're pretty. I like playing with them. Like they have a good texture for touching in here. And they're like an archive of an archive, which is like slightly hilarious to me. As a like quote unquote conceptual artist, that I've been making this experimental archive with the pandemic papers this whole time. This whole time meaning from like November 2019. I've been working on this project because I started it when COVID first started in Wuhan. So not all of these don't run all the way back that long. This project developed sort of as a knock-on effect of that project, of the Pandemic Papers project. So I have all these portraits of these paintings. This is like literally an archive. I think this is an experimental archive of an experimental archive, which is just like way too meta, even for me. I love it though, it's beautiful. So yeah, I have all these little peely guys. And I just like the little family photo album too. Like, the big paintings feel like a whole series. And there's something about making little like portraits of paintings and then putting them in a family photo album that just was like incredibly satisfying to my brain. Yeah, they're pretty. I like them. But yeah, this is the most recent one I've done. Maybe I should put this back here. Yeah. So that's what those are. I'll eventually put up photos of all of them. This poor binder though is like so broken. I need to tape it back together or something. Control Data Industry Education Incorporated. These binders, just like all my binders, I got also at the recycled art supply store. This paint, I think, is one of the only art materials I've bought in like a long time. I almost always get all my materials from the trash or recycling centers or stuff like that. But sometimes there's a pandemic and you just need paint. So yeah, this I made this one blop and it only took me 45 minutes. But yeah, I'll work on more later. I'm gonna drop, but thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate that. I will be live streaming more, so if you like live streaming, I'll be around. I'm not sure about my schedule yet, if I want to do mornings. I'll try mornings for a little bit. So if you're around for mornings and you want to hang out and eat breakfast with me, we can be Kiwi buddies. Yeah. Okay. Bye.